recording should be started.
Alrighty. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Toonkind at 12 FPS, a special FPS Relay edition.
Roulette.
I am Authorticity. I will be playing a new character named Napstasnooze, and I am joined by my good friend.
Hello. I'm D.E.W.P, 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 however you want to call me, honestly. You can call me what you want, just as long as it's nice. I don't mind. And I'll be playing another bird today, but it's not the one I usually play. It's my three-headed himbo sons, Eenie Miney and Mo. My beautiful ranger himbos. Yeah, they're gonna be here today, and it's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun.
This is going to be excellent.
Excellent. Right.
So we start out our story on the grounds of a sort of fair area outside of Toontown. Like, it's the off season, like it's very late summer, kind of going into fall, so it's not quite the holiday season yet, but Halloween, it's always just around the corner in our hearts.
Halloween
And that is exactly
eternal.
what just so. And no one could agree more with you than the owners of this here haunted house, which is sort of doing a special off-season run of some of its attractions that will be featured this autumn. And I believe Eenie, Miney, and Mo are kind of given creative liberty with their sort of section as they're helping out with this project.
Yeah.
Could you tell us a little bit about what they're doing?
So Eenie Miney and Mo, they're pseudo volunteering essentially. They've been running around. Usually they go around helping people. Being super cool and great and awesome because they're super cool rescue rangers. It's what they do. They go out and they help people. And it's great. But recently they've had a little bit of a dry spell when it comes to work. Not many people wanting jobs. Or every time they come to a door with a help wanted newspaper, people take one look and say, no thank you, we already have someone to help us, and slam the door very quickly in their faces. They just think, that's just how it is sometimes. A little late to the punch. But yeah, I imagine they came across this haunted house, this house sort of place on their travels, and the owner really needed some friggin' they needed some friggin' people for hire really quick, because maybe some of the people that were supposed to be doing it just up and left because they found better work. And honestly, maybe they just weren't feeling the Halloween spirit. Maybe they're just like, man, it's too early to do this. And the boss was like, but I'm paying you to do this. They're like, yeah, but it's still too early. And they just go. They're just like, nah, we ain't feeling it yet. Call us in a month when it's actually Halloween. And they leave. And this guy's just like, oh no, I need someone to fill the spot. I need someone eagerly to fill this spot. And then Eenie Miney and Mo come wandering along. They're like, you like Halloween? And Eenie Miney and Mo are like, yeah, I mean, Halloween's a pretty good fun time, ain't it, boys? Oh yeah, it's a pretty good time. I mean, it's not my favourite holiday, but shh, yeah, it's a pretty good fun time here. And perhaps the owner was like, right, okay, yeah, you're hired, get in here, and invites them in. And that's how Eenie Miney and Mo are working in a haunted house. Yeah, that's how they got hired. They got pointed at and pointed into the house.
Literally pulled off the street. Yeah, I approve of this. So perhaps.
Sorry, go ahead.
So perhaps because few remaining employees are willing to take time out of their extremely early September to kind of take part in this. They're like, the other employees just aren't really feeling it. like there's a lot of zombies who look sort of the uncaffeinated version of undead rather than the actual undead. The makeup artist is kind of like just being like, okay, swish this like black mouthwash in around into your mouth and get out of my office. Like just the rest of the house really isn't like they just don't have it, you know?
They're
They're
not
just
feeling
not.
it.
Yeah.
They're not feeling it this
So
time around.
so perhaps because of this, Eenie, Miney, and Mo are all given basically free range over maybe 2 to 3 rooms to do whatever the hell they want.
Oh
They've
gosh.
got all the budget that no one else is using. They've got all like the arts and craft supplies any third grader would ever want. Not in the best condition, but like there quantity over quality here, and you know whatever they want to do.
Oh man. Oh man. You have given Eenie Miney Mo creative liberty and they are going to run with it. They are going to run so very
Mm-hmm,
hard with
mm-hmm.
this. Okay, so let me see. 3 rooms. So do you want me to explain the rooms now, or do you wanna go along and have them go through sequentially, and then you find out each room as you discover them?
Like that idea, yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
So um I think that our story truly starts on like 11 a.m. on a Tuesday, like the least scary time of the week that you could possibly imagine.
Coffee run hour.
Um,
It's your lunchtime
Basically,
rush hour. Yeah, yeah.
like it's I'm not quite sure what Miney, and Mo are doing while they're sort of waiting for customers to come running through. But they're whatever they're doing a lot of it because haven't been a lot of haunted house goers this time around.
Um.
There was maybe a little old lady earlier who was very complimentary over everything. And she couldn't really see very well and she couldn't hear very well, so a lot of it was lost on her. But she was very impressed with you, dears. Good job. Um,
Oh. Oh.
there there was a very awkward business looking tune who kind of started at like the doorway, took one step, and went, "Yeah, you know what? I have to get back to work. I have to go. Like, no, excuse me, please. Like, I don't. Yes, you're a zombie. That's very scary. Excuse me." So that was a little bit of a wash. Um, but now the little light comes on for your third customer this week or today, um and the light comes on alerting you that they are getting wrapped up with the section before you and they will shortly be rounding the corner into your first room. But you also have like a little walkie talkie, like just so the employees can talk to each other, sort of, or standy speaky. You've been giving
Yeah.
a standy speaky for the day.
All right.
Um, and you're the employee whose room comes right before you, whose name's Melvin, uh, gives you a call, and Melvin says, "Well, we got a little bit of a customer on our hands here. Just giving you a heads up, this guy's a little bit of a tough customer, if you understand."
um, Edie, Marty, and Mo are they're gonna laugh, or at least Miney's gonna laugh, and they're gonna speak into the receiver. And they're gonna say, "We're all sitting here, matey. Don't worry about that. Yeah, we know exactly what we're gonna do with a couple of tough customers. By the time we're done with them, they'll be running out of here screaming. Don't you worry."
Yeah, I don't really know how to interpret that, but good luck, buddy. Good luck.
Uh,
All right, over and out. And then
I
the
will.
line goes dead.
Ow! Ow! All right, okay, right, fellas, you get ready. Let's see. I just want you to know with this first room, they are gonna. Let me see. Where are they? They are going to. Let me see. Let me roll a quick thingy here. I'm gonna roll a quick stealth for them. Okay, so yeah, okay, so they basically
Oh
they
boy.
hide. Yeah, they try to hide, but yeah, if you wanna come into the room, and then I'll explain to you what exactly has happened here.
So, not through the door, but through the wall next to the door comes a ghost toon who's sort of the classic kid in a sheet sort of shape. They're obviously floating several feet off the ground, so they're not a kid in a sheet, but they've got sort of that, you know.
Yeah,
Um,
shape.
and they've got sort of like a vague pearlescent sheen to them. They're a little bit see through, and they've also got uh the crankiest, sort of saddest look on their face you've ever seen.
Oh, well, that won't do.
Like they look like they just dropped their chicken nuggets.
Ah, Heartbreak Central. Oh no. Oh no. I mean, as they come through, okay, as this person comes through, as this ghost floats through, you float through into this room, and it's very foggy in here. Like they have a you might hear the little
Mm,
of fog machines going, and it's a classical sort of graveyard kind of scene. There's a few tombstones and headstones, and there's creepy willow trees somewhere in the corner. You can roll perception if you want, but unless you're good at seeing through fog and stuff, I'd ask for disadvantage because it is very, very foggy. Eenie, Miney and Mo cranked it up to full because they go hard or they go home.
oh boy. All right, let's see here. 20, 16, and
20.
it's a 16.
Okay, cool. So that was a dirty 20 and the 16, so we're going with the 16. With that 16, yeah, it's pretty thick fog, but you're a ghostly looking person. Perhaps you're used to seeing through this kind of stuff. But yeah, there's a load of you can clearly see these tombstones and stuff. They're made of foam, and the floor
Mm,
underneath you is just it's just like those kids carpets that have like patterns of trains and stuff on them, or like little cities and things. The floor looks like that.
yeah.
It's like one of those carpets, but instead of it being like a train or like a little like city pattern, it's just like grass and dirt pattern, except it's really obviously not. And around the room, you can see that the trees are fake. The bushes are like astroturf. Is the grass like the little grassy tufts are just like pots sticking out of the ground. And with that 16,
Oh my
you can
gosh.
also clearly see um well, not clearly see, but you can see a shadow from behind one of the willow trees, just very stiffly standing there. They're not moving, but there is a shadow behind one of the willow trees in your room.
Yeah, so this little ghost will sort of float in morosely and they'll stop and sort of like take a nice long look around. And they sigh and they go, well, points for presentation. And I think they just sort of like, oh, hang on.
Oh, oh no. And we are still recording. I don't know where they've gone. They've gone to the ghost realm. They've been claimed by the Shadow Realm people. Author has gone to the Shadow Realm and is having a nice little chat with the ghosts in there. And, hello! Return.
Sorry,
That's alright.
I. Hi! I was muted. What's going on?
Nothing, I was just talking to fill the void. I was just telling them where you'd gone. I thought you'd gone to, like, the Shadow Realm or something. So I was just been like, hi.
Oh no, sorry.
It's okay. Yeah, you were saying
Yeah, no,
points of
my.
presentation.
Oh, that's right. So I think they just sort of like start floating sort of next to the wall, kind of skirting around the, like the attraction part of the haunted house, uh, apparently heading for the other door.
Okay. Let me roll another thing quickly. Okay. What's your passive perception?
Uh, Passive perception is. Oh, for God's sakes. Why is nothing where it makes sense?
Because it's DMV. DMV doesn't like to be straightforward.
They really don't, apparently. Passive perception is 11.
Okay, that meets it, beats it. So as you're floating along the rules, you just about as you pass the willow tree with the shadow behind it, you pass it by and you hear a little rustle, and you see the shadow start to move very very slowly behind you.
Yeah, I think they just kind of like. I think they just keep going, honestly. They appear to be attempting to bypass this room altogether.
Oh god. Okay, as you keep going, I rolled a 5 for performance. So behind you, you hear the beginnings of something. You hear like a sort of noise, and you hear like a moaning sort of noise, and then you hear you hear them start to cough because they've I don't know how they've done it, but they've taken a large inhale, and they've somehow inhaled too much fog. Somehow they've inhaled the fog so thickly that it's made them cough, and they're just like and Miney and Mo are looking at Eenie, who is the head that is choking, and they're like, "Hey, come on, stop choking! Hey, come on, we can't choke now." And Enie's just as you float away. I don't know what you want to do when you hear this choking noise behind you.
I think that this ghost will stop and they'll just sort of say to themselves, just sort of for the record, because they don't have anyone else to be cranky to,
Mm.
uh, oh no, a sheep with a bad cough. A very specific and deep phobia of mine. And then they'll turn around and they'll go, "Excuse me, sir, madam, or others. Can I call someone for you? Do you need assistance? Do you, like, is this part of the joke?"
Oh, let's roll something quickly. Oh, that's fancy!
It's a
No,
nat
that's
20.
okay. That was an intelligence check to see if they could tell you were being sarcastic with the.
I mean, they're kind of.
Hmm?
They're kind of being sarcastic, but also not. Like,
Okay.
they're pretty sure nothing's wrong, but also if there is, they're like prepared to be the adult here.
No, I meant specifically for the phobia bit. Mostly the phobia bit, not for
Mm.
not for the asking for help bit. the Eenie Miney and Mo aren't the cleverest sausages in the barn, quite frankly. So I did have to roll to see if they could
Gosh.
go. With an at 20, I'd say then, or you're being sarcastic. And Miney and Mo, Eenie is still hacking up a lung. As he's hacking, you can just see more wisps of fog come out of his mouth. And actually, as you turn around, you turn around and you see a very tall figure behind you. Eenie, Miney and Mo. I rolled earlier. I rolled a quick dex for them. Not dex, sorry. What was it? I think it's performance. I rolled something basically to see how well they put their makeup on, and they got a 19. So behind you, you don't see a three-headed lardbird Toon. Instead, you see what looks like a very strange looking wraith. The middle head is shaped like draconic almost, with a very long snout, and sticking out from its sides, or what looks like it's sticking out from its sides, are two other arms slash heads. Or they're arms, you think they're arms. They look like necks, but they're arms, but they're heads, but they're necks. And at the end, they have more heads. And I know I said they're a wraith, but I'm going to take that back right now. They're not a wraith. They look like a hydra. You've got this hydra-looking thing just hacking up along behind you. And Miney and Mo turn towards you and say, mate, but no, this is fine. We're fine. Don't worry. And wait, we're supposed to stay in character. Yeah, I know, but he's choking, so we're supposed to stay in character. And meanwhile, while this is happening, Eenie, whilst choking, is still trying to make moaning noises. So it's just like. And Marnie looks at you. He says, "Don't worry, we're fine. Just keep going." And he lifts up one of their feet, and they just shoo you on towards the next room. They say, "Don't worry, we'll just go to the next room. I'm sure we'll get you next time. Don't you worry. We'll get you next time. Don't you worry." And we'll get you in the next room. And they're basically just shooing you off with one of their feet, while Miney and Mo are checking on Eenie to make sure he doesn't choke on the fog too much.
I think Napstasnooze is just gonna be like, sure. I mean, they've seen worse looking creatures doing weirder shit.
Fair.
And I think they just kind of like disappear, and then reappear like sort of back where they were, facing the original direction, just sort of like slowly like float trudging their way through.
So you're going through the next room, or are you going out? Or like leaving the house?
Uh, no, they're going to the next room.
Next room. Okay. Cool. Okay, so you float through the door into the next room, and it's just a long hallway. And there are lights at the top of the hallway, scattered like intermittently. You get quite a few that are buzzing like flickering on and off. They flicker on and off at intervals. One is swinging very slowly from side to side. Another is just off completely. And it's just like a wooden panel floor, wooden panel walls, and these long creepy lights dangling from the ceiling. That's it, and it's a hallway.
I think that they'll just sort of say to themselves, I was hoping for more foam. And then they'll go on.
I'm sorry, did you say more foam?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay, so you're going along. Hey, do me a favor, roll me a dex save.
Absolutely, I'll roll you a dex save. See their dex Save is plus. Are you kidding me right now, DMV? DMV is the new dice purser today. What is going?
DMV is bullying us. DMV, stop it.
Okay. Do 24.
24. Damn. Okay. So with your supernatural senses, or perhaps just your regular senses, because honestly, this place is not exactly built to the best specifications. But you hear a rumbling from the wall, and you dodge out of the way very quickly as something bursts through the side of the wall, and you see a zombie hand reach out and try and grab you as you pass by, and it's flailing wildly, trying to grab
Actually,
you. I mean, if you
may I put a little bit of flavor in
go
it and
for
say
it,
that um instead of dodging, they just stay right where they are,
yes,
and the hand just sort of like swipes through them,
yes.
and because they're yeah. Yeah, and so they're just sort of like stopped. Um just sort of like letting this happen. Just like, well, okay. Oh, excuse me, one more time.
Go for it. Oh man. Okay. He just wanted to shake hands. They just wanted to say hi. Ah, yes, we have been plunged once more. Arthur's been kidnapped by the Shadow Realm a couple times, I think. Important Shadow Realm business, ladies, gentlemen, and others. They cannot be disturbed. I have been blessed with being able to play a game with them today, but they are a very important.
Sorry about that.
Hello. I was once again rambling to the gallery about stuff. Don't worry about what. But yeah, for flavour,
Sorry.
that hand's just flailed through you, and I imagine as it's flailing through you, it starts to slow down, and it's like you hear confused, huh? As it's trying, it's like, what the hell? There's something here, but I can't quite grab it. And from beyond the wall, you hear a, Eenie Miney and Mo, I, I, I can't. There's something on the radar. I can't grab it. There's something on the radar. It says there's someone here, but I can't get him. And the hand's just slowly reaching, and then it stops, and it's just like, forget this. And the hand comes back into the hole in the wall, and you hear a as a board's put over the hole, and you hear a as someone clearly staples the board hole shut.
Yeah, they're just gonna like let that happen. They're not like they almost like they stop and they watch the proceedings like that's the show.
Yeah, I mean, from the looks of
And
it,
then they just, yeah. They
that's it.
these like
You just got attempted to be grabbed, and well, you're a ghost, man. Like, what's there to grab? What's there to grab, really?
mm,
I mean, apart from the dangling lights
yeah,
from the
they're
ceiling, there's
just
not
gonna
much
like
else in here. Sorry, go
yeah, they're
ahead.
just gonna go, man. Like it's sorry about your embarrassment, Mr. Well Dude, but they are apparently going this way now.
Do they say sorry? Sorry for your embarrassment out loud. They say it out loud.
No, I don't think they're quite going to be that mean to someone who's clearly trying their best.
Okay.
Um,
Okay, if that's the case, as you're floating towards the end of the hallway, roll me another quick perception, please.
okay.
And whilst
So,
you're doing that, I'm gonna roll. I'll roll this.
a
Oh,
6.
So it takes you a little bit. It takes you quite a little bit before you realize anything is happening. So you probably get to the end of the hallway, and as you're going down, there's been more attempts at grabbing you. There's been more attempts of people trying to reach for you through the walls and through the floor, and one hand's even popped out of the ceiling through one of the swinging lamps, one of the swinging lamps that was off. So there's like a dark lamp. As you pass underneath it, a hand shot out and tried to grab you, and they're just like, "Huh? What? For God's sake!" And they pull their hand back up. And yeah, it's mostly stuff like that. As you get towards the hallway, it's just a lot of confused workers because what the hell? There's someone in here, but we can't grab them. What the hell? Eenie, Miney, Mo, what the heck is this? And as you get to the end of the hallway, you hear a as the door you've come out of slams open, and you turn and you see something heading towards you very, very quickly, and it's running and it's going as the feet, presumably the feet, tap along the floor, heading directly at you, and the lights flicker on and off, and you get glimpses of something heading towards you, and it's very large and it's very quick, and the lights are flickering, and you get glimpses of something coming at you, something running very quickly towards you, something very, very quickly heading your direction.
Seems normal.
I mean, it's running full force at
Perhaps,
you. There's just a giant thing running full
perhaps
force at you.
another.
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, perhaps another dexterity saving throw might be in order.
Yeah, perhaps.
Mm-hmm.
Might be wise.
16.
16, okay.
Not great for them.
So with that 16, I would say you're near the door now. You're near the door on the end of the hallway. So with that 16, I'm gonna say, would they stay and wait for this thing to get to them, or would they go?
They're gonna stay. They want to see what happens next.
Oh gosh. Okay. Okay. I know what I've got to roll. Oh, this might actually turn out quite fun. Okay. Oh, cool. Dex to Dex, we match. So you stay, and this thing's come running at you, and it's not slowing down. It's not stopping. It keeps going, and wait, why isn't it stopping? Why isn't it stopping? Why isn't it stopping? And they realize, and this thing seems to not be stopping, and it goes running at you, and it goes running through you, and it goes, it busts down the door behind you, and it goes rolling head over heels into the next room, and you hear a as it slams its head. Well, you don't know what it slams its head into because you're not looking at it, but so it slams into something. There's a great big crash and clatter behind you.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. They'll kind of go over to where what is presumably Eenie, Miney, and Mo is sprawled on the floor, and they're gonna be like, "Does this happen a lot for you guys, or is today like a bad day? Should I come back like a different day?"
I'm gonna roll something quickly. Hey, why don't you look for me? Oh, lovely. So with that was a performance check to see if they remembered to stay in character. So as you turn around to look and ask them that, you hear a coming from them, and this great big hulking thing stands up, and you hear a weird as their neck starts to snap from side to side, and the heads, they're facing away from you, but you see the heads snap backwards over the back of their body, and this thing is staring directly at you. And you didn't notice before because you were focusing mostly on how they were choking and how they were being kind of not super scary in the first room. But right now, they their eyes are glowing. They're glowing a weird, eerie silver and red, and it's like there's fog coming out of their eyes, and it's like they still have dragons' heads, and you hear a and there's smoke and fog coming out of them, and I'm going to roll another thing. I'm gonna make them cast a spell on you. They're gonna slowly turn around towards you, and they're gonna cast. They're gonna cast Dissonant Whispers on you. So you have to make a Wisdom saving throw.
What does Dissident Whispers do?
Dissonant Whispers.
A wish saving throw?
Yes, so you whisper a discordant melody that only one creature of your choice within range can hear, racking it with terrible pain. The target must make a wisdom saving throw. On a failed save, it takes 3d6 psychic damage and must immediately use its reaction to move away from you. I'd like to clarify with this spell, they're not actually aiming to harm you, they're aiming to scare you. So you won't take any damage, but this is just to see how well they manage to terrify you. And
It's a 15.
Yeah, you beat it. You beat it. So
And also, no, you finish your thought. I have something in the chamber for later.
Okay. So basically they crack their heads back over their bodies and they hiss at you and they say, "Well, aren't you something special? Well, aren't you something weird? And aren't you something odd? I suppose you belong here with us, don't you, little ghosty? Yeah, don't you, little ghosty? I think maybe you should stay here a little longer. With us. Doesn't this seem like your kind of town? Doesn't this seem like your kind of place? Doesn't this seem like a nice place to take a little nap?" And that's what they say as they start to advance slowly towards you.
Gosh. I like these fellas. Napstasnooze. Can Napstasnooze roll performance for something?
You can. Absolutely.
That's a 12. They are going to sort of waver and flicker. Like they're trying to go invisible, but it doesn't quite go smoothly. So instead, like they had sort of a bit planned to sort of try to spook you back, but the first part of it didn't really pan out. So instead, they're just gonna like maintain eye contact, sort of.
Okay.
You can roll insight if you want.
I think I should. Otherwise, I think I know what they're gonna keep doing. Oh, 15, okay.
15.
That's decent.
This ghost, like, they do have, like a very, noticeable expression of just sort of general apathetic disdain on their face. But you kind of get the feeling that now they're kind of having fun.
Oh, the minute they realise that Napstasnooze is having fun, they are going full ham. They're gonna really ham it up, and you're gonna hear evil cackling coming from them. You're gonna hear coming from them, and they're gonna they're gonna come towards you, the slow predatory prowl towards you, and you'll notice this room has no other exit. It is just an empty room, and there's no windows, there's no lights. It's just a dark, empty room at the end of the hallway. And they have you moved from the doorway at all? Or are you still hanging out in the
Uh,
doorway?
yeah, they're probably kind of half in, half out.
Okay.
Like they sort of like came over to check to make sure that like they didn't brain themselves.
Okay, that's fair. So if you've come slightly into the room, what they're gonna do, uh, they're gonna cast another spell. They're gonna use Long Strider, which basically just gives them another 10 foot of movement. Um, that lasts for about an hour. So basically, what they're gonna do is they're gonna zip through you. They're gonna go ha! And jump through you and skid to the door they just busted down, and they're gonna stand to their full height, which is pretty damn tall. They're a very tall bird. They're like 6 foot something, and they're blocking the light from the hallway from before. So now this room is even darker than it was before. It's really dim, and I
Mm.
imagine that Napstasnooze is the only light that can be seen at the moment. That silvery glow of a ghost is the only thing, apart from maybe like a couple slivers of glaring yellow light coming from the gaps that Eenie, Miney and Mo have left into this room, and they are looming over you. And they are cackling, and they are looking at you, and they are saying, "Yes, little ghosty, won't you come and stay with us for a while? We promise it'll be fun." And then slowly advancing towards you. You can make an insight check as well if you want.
I will, but I also have a question for you.
Yes.
It's just like an empty room,
It
not
is.
much in it.
It's literally an empty room. There's no lights. There's no other doors. There's no other exits except for the one you've come through.
All right, let's see here. Um, their insight. Yeah, okay. They're pretty sure they have these guys' number, but you know, an
11.
11. It's above a 10, barely.
Okay. You can tell they're trying to do something with you here, but maybe you can't quite figure out what they're trying to get you to do here. They want something from you, but you can't quite figure out what. And as they're advancing towards you, um, may I take the liberty of saying that Napstasnooze backs up a little bit nearer to the middle of the room, or maybe even to the back wall.
I think actually what they're gonna do, what they're going to do is they're going to just sort of like lean backward and let themselves just sort of fall like a sheet of dropped paper or like a leaf off a tree. And they're gonna just like settle on the floor like a rug, and they're just gonna go, yeah, okay.
Oh gosh. Um. Okay, let me see. I'm gonna roll more of this because. Oh my gosh! Wow. Okay, so that was another five for performance. So they are slowly stalking over to you, and they are expecting you to like back up or shrink away from them, but instead you just fall flat against the floor, and they stop, and they're like, "Hang on, this isn't part of the plan. What do we do with this? What do you mean, what do we do with this? We wasn't expecting an actual living ghost to come in here anyway, were we? Well, it's really, I mean, really, what else was supposed to be coming in?" And you just hear them slowly whispering to themselves. They're still walking towards you, but now their heads are just sort of like tucked together, and they're just like murmuring as they come up towards you. And I'm gonna come up towards you, and they're
Would
gonna.
they like would they like to roll an insight on the
Yes,
ghost?
yes. I would like to roll an insight on the ghost. That's a 12.
12. I mean, they have their eyes closed. They kind of look like they're snoozing. But you maybe get a little bit that their mouth is sort of like twitching, like uh they're very carefully holding this expression. And
Ah,
for the audience, um, I will tell you that Napstasnooze is suppressing giggles.
okay. So, as far as they know, this thing looks like they've gone to sleep, and they're just on the floor asleep. And you know what? I'm gonna roll another quick intelligence because would they tell? Okay. Please stop rolling well. Stop rolling well. I want you to fail. You know what? No, peck dice pass. So I'm gonna let them fail. Um, so they look at you
Yes.
and they look at you faint. They look at you on the floor, seemingly asleep, and they're gonna go. Wait, did they actually? Did we actually? Are they? Are they? Did we kill them? Did we actually kill him? We're right. Oh god, did we kill him? Did we kill someone? Oh god, we killed someone. Oh bloody hell, this wasn't what we signed up for. Oh god, I'm so sorry. Oh, please wake up. They're gonna pick. They're gonna like each head is gonna pick like a corner of you or like a bit of the sheet. You said they were like flat to the floor, didn't you? So they're like a rug at the moment.
Yes.
So they're gonna pick you up.
Mm-hmm.
They're gonna pick like 3 points on one side of you, and then they'll pick you up, and they're gonna shake you out like you shake a towel out a window to get the dust off. There's gonna be some quiet
It's
like
even better because they're
worried
UPN.
voices coming from them.
Yeah, I mean you can really just do it like they're a bath towel, honestly. Like they're UPN, they're flat.
You just hear like a noises they try to shake you out.
Mhm. Yeah, and I think that NASA Snooze is gonna be like, all right, okay, that's enough.
The minute Napstasnooze speaks, they drop you and gasp. And they're like, "You're alive! Oh, Pick, Pick, you're alive! He's alive! We didn't kill him! Oh, thank Pick! You gave us a fright! How dare you! This is our haunted house! We're the scary ones here! How dare you!" They're all making a rattle of a noise. You hear a lot of squawking, a lot of squeaking, a lot of thankful sighs, and a little bit of tears, and some angry words. But yeah, you hear a lot of relief. I'm not gonna make you roll. You hear a lot of relief in them as they realise they haven't killed you.
Mm. I think that Napsis News is just gonna like, yep, alive is definitely what I am. Uh, would you like to roll intelligence?
Oh god, yeah, I'd love to roll intelligence. They've been doing so well with that today. No, that's wrong. Hang on. No. Yes, that's better. 7.
You completely miss the fact that this is a ghost.
Yes.
They're a ghost. Mm-hmm. Anyway,
Oh, they're clearly alive. They're
so
clearly living. They're moving around, aren't they? They're alive. It's all fine. It's all good.
I think that Nuts is just gonna let sort of um that sort of irony sink into the universe. And then they'll just sort of like, would you like me to walk you out?
And
Like, just like,
yeah, keep going. What were you saying?
well, they're just sort of like, they don't really have arms with which to pat Eenie Miney and Mo's back reassuringly. But they're just sort of like floating near them and just being uh, like they've gone into like apathetic camp counselor mode
Ah, yes.
with what appears to be uh a gigantic crying child in their eyes.
Yeah, okay. So whilst you're doing this, like as you're getting up and like moving around and talking to them, they're starting to calm down a little bit. You just hear some sniffles coming from Mo's head, and you hear some sighs coming from Enie's, and Miney is just sort of perked up, all bright-eyed, and he looks at you and he says, "Oh, walk us out. Mate, this is our house. We walk you out. It's all fine." And it was fun. You really had us going there. Yeah, we thought it really killed you then. I mean, quite frankly, bravo. Well done. We haven't had a scare like that in a little while, have we, boys? No, not like that. Not in quite a while. And as you're talking, you hear a little tss coming from somewhere, and Eenie Miney and Mo go, "Oh wait, hold up!" And Eenie reaches into. Actually, he can use some space. Yeah, they reaches into his hammer space and he pulls out the Speaky Standy, and you hear like a crackle coming from it. You're like, Eenie, Miney, Mo, how's the customer? They probably scared. How's it going? And they look at each other, a little bit panicked because I think at this point they realize you're not super scared of them, and you can roll a quick insight if
Napstasnooze
you
is.
want.
I think I will, but also Napstasnooze is going to try to catch their eye uh, silently while they're on this baby speaky.
Okay.
12.
12. Okay, so with that insight, you can kind of recognize that this is a haunted house, and typically in haunted houses, you're expected to scare people. And Eenie, Money, Mo have done the best they can to scare you, but like, I don't know how easy you are to scare. From the sounds of it, you're not very. And you don't know what would happen if you came out of that room not scared. But you think maybe it might. You don't know how well it would end for Eenie, Miney, and Mo if you come out and just not scared, because the previous two customers, one was an old lady who didn't even process any of it because she was just so like senses wise dulled a little bit, and the other guy was a businessman and he just poked his head in and was like nope and left. So you're literally pretty much the only customer this tune has had, and you can't quite tell how much of them scaring you is going to affect their potential job here. What was I rolling here?
Yeah, they're gonna try to catch one of their eyes, preferably all of them.
Yes,
Um,
good. Uh, okay,
and
so
they're
I got
gonna
that
just
20.
like,
Oh, go ahead, sorry.
well, they're gonna just try to like catch their eye and just like nod, like say yes.
Okay, so I just rolled a nat 20 for perception. So the minute you make the slightest movement, all heads are turned towards you, and they can immediately tell what you're trying to do. And they reach for the standy speaky and they press the little button on the side like, yeah, this one. Oh boy, this one was tough. It was really, really tough. Yeah, real tough customer. Oh boy, they are maybe certain stuff. But I think, I think we've got them in the end. I tell you what, it was a bit rough down the hallway room, but on the end, I tell you what, we really spooked them. Really spooked them. And I'm gonna have to roll a deception here because they are lying. They are very much lying. They know they're lying.
I'm gonna say that you have you have bardic inspiration.
Oh, bardic inspiration. That's a D6, isn't it?
Yes.
Yes. So I would say, would you just say Napstasnooze, give them like a slightly encouraging look or a nod? So that would bump it up to a 15.
And Napstasnooze is gonna like close their eyes, and it kind of looks like they're crying, which is a little bit concerning. But instead of just like falling to the floor, the tears sort of like rise into like a soft almost sparkly mist and sort of like uh kind of like almost very cheerfully sort of like swirls around your heads for a while.
Oh, that's adorable. I will tell you right now, Mo is going to be looking up at these things. And they're at this point. I'm going to tell you, whilst they were running through this house, they used disguise self to make themselves look more draconic. That disguise self has dropped now, and yeah, Mo just now they look like a regular, very tall bird toon, and with three heads and three necks, and Mo is looking up at these lights and he's going, oh, while Eenie and Miney are talking to the other worker on the standy speaky, and the other worker says, "All right, well, come on, go come to the last room, and we'll wrap it up, all right?" And they're like, "Yeah, yeah, yeah, we'll wrap him out. We're bringing him out now. Yeah, we'll bring him out now. Bring him out right now, all right? Zero it." And they click it off, and they're gonna look towards you, and they're gonna say, I don't suppose we could bother you for a favour, and could you maybe pretend, just, well, not pretend. I mean, I know we definitely did scare you. We definitely scared you. We did a very good job at scaring you. Would you mind putting a bit of that little fear you felt from us outside? And they look at you and they smile, and they are also. Should I roll persuasion here?
Uh no, you don't have to. I think that they're what to be clear, what they're asking is basically for them to act scared on their way out, right?
Yeah, that's what they want.
Okay. 20 plus 7. The 10. Man, is there any way I could get advantage? Maybe
They're gonna
not.
cast Bardic Inspiration on you with their puppy dog eyes. They're giving you big bird eyes. But yes,
Okay.
you can roll with
So,
advantage
T.
because they're gonna help you. They're gonna help you look scared. Actually, what they're gonna do, they're gonna be like, "Oh wait, hang on," and they're gonna reach into their hammer space. No, no, reach into the hammer space. Yes, and they're gonna pull out a big kit. It looks like a disguise kit, and they're gonna plop it on the floor, and they're gonna like pop it open, and there's gonna be multiple. It's like an explosion of boxes and different layers and different styles of things just pop out. It's like a giant jewelry box of different layers and boxes and such. And there's like makeup kits, there's ribbons, there's hair stuff, there's stylization things. It's just basically it's just a huge makeup kit essentially with all sorts of different items. And they're gonna look at you and they're gonna say, if you want, we can do a little bit of this and we can give you a bit of a boost. And they're gonna give you a little thumbs up with their feet, and that way they can help you and give you advantage to look scared if you want.
Um, yeah, Napstasnooze is gonna look at everything that's there and they're gonna say, mascara. Like real black, sort of green mascara if you got it.
Got it. We're on it.
And they're gonna ask for just like underneath their eyes, like really heavily, and then they're gonna like concentrate and like more tears. They cry for a little bit more, longer so that the mascara like streaks down their face.
Very nice. All right, cool. So yeah,
And
was that the other
and that was a 24.
Yes, very good. Very good. So
Yeah, so what they're gonna do is they're gonna look at Eenie, Miney, and Mo, and they're gonna ask, "So which way is the exit?"
and they stand up and they smile at you, and as they're packing everything together, Enie's gonna look at you and you say, "Well, I thought you'd never ask." And once everything is packed up, I am going to roll the thing. And they are going to. It's not a save, it's just a straight strength. Okay. They are going to run full force at the back wall. Oh my gosh. They're going to run full force at the back wall. And they're going to.
Well, they're gonna actually they wait. They're gonna stop them, but it's gonna be like just a no, wait, stop, okay. Because they do actually have an idea on how to like go absolutely ham on their way out of here.
Okay.
But also, if you want to just run into the wall, that's also fine.
What I would say is that they're running towards the wall, and just as they're about to reach the wall, you pop up in front of them and say, "Hey, wait, stop!" And they put the brakes on, and they would have gone through the back wall because this back wall is one of those flip ones. So when they scared someone badly enough, they would have backed them against the wall and then pushed a thing that would have flipped them through the room. So it would have like done a switch around. But instead of doing that, they just bang their heads against the wall, like, and slump slowly down the wall, like, belly first, and you hear them
Oh, what?
as their heads hit the floor, and they're gonna look at you, and they're like, "Well, what's your idea then? Instead of doing it the normal way."
Well, Snooze is gonna kind of look around the room and say, they're like an area where most of your coworkers and your boss would be, like directionally from here, like as the crow flies.
Do you mean like a break room, or do you mean like just somewhere they hang out for when people exit? What exactly do you mean, or when they're working?
Just like any sort of concentration of folks.
If we're looking for concentration of folks, well, I mean, it's mostly been us doing the work today, so I would assume if there was anyone, well, considering we've gone through the hallway, haven't we? Yeah, and I think everyone was supposed to be in the hallway. But once the hallway bit was over, it was on to us, so they're probably in the break room. Having a cup of tea and some biscuits, probably. So that would be. And you see them scratch underneath one of their chins, and they think very, very, very hard. And you see them point with one of their feet, and then you can see in their heads they're trying to map out where the house layout from beyond the door, and they say, well, if you go through the door and you take a lift and then you take another lift and you take the right and there's a second door on the lift, so it would be, and they point to their right, that way. Once you well that way, and then probably like left a little bit that way. And they just point in a very vague direction, through a wall to your right, and then they point to the left again.
Okay.
It's hard.
They're gonna go.
Go ahead. Sorry.
They're going to kind of look in that direction, and uh they're gonna say, great work today. And then they're going to phase through the wall, and they're going to prepare an action that when they get to the break room, they're going to use prestidigitation to turn all the lights off.
Whoa.
And as they sort of go through the wall, they start just like this soft, slow, just sort of wail, just like
Like
and
ghost
just like
noises.
on and on and on as they go.
Yeah.
And they're going to
I just imagine
they're
like
going
a
to just
ghost
keep that
voice.
up. Yep. and that's a cantrip. So I believe they can also cast light on their own eyes to make
Oh,
them glow.
oh my
But they're
god.
gonna try for like a black light effect, sort of, to really highlight the mascara that's running down.
Oh my gosh, hell yes. This is great. um, I just wrote.
And
Go ahead, sorry. Go ahead.
they're going to, like, if they see any people on the way out, they're going to just steadily adjust their trajectory, not enough that it looks like they're sort like that someone who's like watching them would notice that they're not going in a straight line. But if they can like try to phase through as many people on their way out as possible, including anyone who looks official, just to
Oh,
like give them sort of a cold shiver.
just cause panic amongst the workers. So, okay.
Basically, yes.
So I imagine with this house, it's not really. I don't imagine there would be anyone looking official in here. It would be like mostly people in night sweats and stuff because no one had to appear with their face or anything. So there's like a couple people with like makeup done arms and zombified arms, and like maybe one person in full makeup with a head. But there's no one really looking official. It's mostly like shorts and baggy trousers and jeans and friggin' jumpers and stuff, and they're all just sitting around the coffee room talking. And then you turn the lights out, and it was like, what the hell? Why are the lights off? And then they hear the ghastly moaning, and they're like, "Hey, Eenie, Miney, Mo, cut it out, man. We know you're practicing and stuff, but you gotta bring. Come on, just cut it out." And then you come through the wall, your eyes aglow, and the rattling wail coming from you, and everyone just freaks because that's not Eenie, Miney, and Mo. This is not what they usually do. And I rolled an intelligence earlier to see if they could figure out what they were doing, and with a 15, I think they would. Would you say that we'd figure out what they're trying to do?
Yeah, like they're not being subtle.
Okay.
They're sure not being subtle right now.
Okay, so what they're gonna do? They're gonna look at each other, and then and you said good job today to them is the thing. You said good job today, and they don't often get people tell them good job. Like not very often. They don't get thank yous, and in a job like a ranger rescue job, a thank you can mean everything. So what they're gonna do? They're gonna look at each other, and they're gonna say, "Fellas, how 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 badly do you think we want this job?" "Well, I mean, we are rescue rangers. We only took this as a part-time sort of thing. I mean, yeah, it's not really sort of our thing, is it? We tried it out, and it didn't work out, so maybe it's time that we blew this joint, blew this joint, blew this joint." And they all smile at each other, and then they tap themselves on the chest. They put on their draconic disguise again, and they're gonna turn around, and Longstrider's still on because that effect's on for an hour, and they're gonna bust through the back wall door. So everyone, whilst amongst this wailing, they're gonna hear a crash of the door being broken down, which is gonna cause more panic, and then they're gonna hear the of something running towards them, which is going to cause a little more panic. And so, out of the back door of this break room, so imagine it's like a kitchen house sort of thing. It's just like a large sort of kitchen and a big table and such. You're going to see people running out of this back door screaming their heads off. You're going to see people. You're going to see people clutching their coffee mugs with their lives, as if their lives depending on it, wide-eyed and spooky, and they're going to be tumbling over each other down the stairs to get out of this freaking house, out of this door, and they're just going to fucking jump over the landing. They're going to jump out. You're going to hear a tsh, one of them jumps out of a window because they're just that terrified, and you're going to see finally Eenie, Miney, and Mo burst out of the back door, cackling their heads off as they run at their previous co-workers, bust past through them, and they're gonna shout, "So long, suckers! It was fun working with you, but consider this our resignation notice." And they're gonna jump out, and they're gonna run. They're gonna run away. And hey, Napstasnooze, what happens with you?
So as they run out, they might notice sort of like floating above like a nearby like the rooftop of like one of those permanent buildings that are on fairgrounds
Mm-hmm.
that they keep like livestock in for shows.
Yes.
Um Perched on like the roof of that is a little ghost who's, still visible even though it's kind of hard to see in the sunlight, and they've got a little sandwich. Uh, and they're just sort of munching it and watching uh the people run out. And they as you go by, they kind of give you like a nod, like nice.
As they run past, they're gonna shout, "See you later, little ghosty! Thanks for the fun! Hope to see you around next Halloween!" And they book it as they go by. And unless there's anything else you wanted to do, I guess we could end it there as they run
It
off.
feels like that feels solid to me.
Yeah. So we end it with Napstasnooze having a good munch on a sandwich, watching the disaster of this house falling apart, and with Eenie Miney and Mo cackling, running down the road, looking like a weird not possessed, but a weird three-headed dragon thing. Wyvern, maybe? I don't know. They're running down the road. They're running down the road and they're laughing, and Napstasnooze is watching this all with vague amusement. And I would say that's where we end it then. Thank you
Hmm.
for playing with me, author. This was fun. Eenie, Money, and Mo don't often get to
This
do
was a
this.
delight.
This is great. Mm, thank
Yeah,
you.
thank you all so much for listening.
Thank
Um,
you everyone for listening. This was delightful, and Eenie, Money, and Mo had fun, and I can't wait to see where they go next and who they go to save next and who they annoy next and what their next job's going to be. But yeah, I'm going to end the recording here. Thank you very much. You are all wonderful, and I will see you next time. Goodbye. Goodbye, everyone.